Hello students, how are you all? Hope you all are fine. So today our topic is punctuation. Now, without understanding the meaning of the punctuation and why do you require punctuation? Let us see. Punctuation is the name of marks used in writing. They are very essential signs to understand a sentence in correct way. They represent the expression and feeling in a sentence. Now, why do you need a punctuation? Punctuation is used to bring clarity and meaning to writing. So, we can understand in a better way, and whatever we are writing, it gets a proper meaning. So let us move ahead with the use of punctuation mark and its types. Now coming to the first one, capital letter. Now in these examples, these are all the types of the punctuation: full stop, question mark, slash, comma, hyphen, quotation mark, colon, exclamatory mark, round brackets, semicolon, apostrophe, ellipsis. Now let us move ahead and see its rules. Now moving ahead to the rules, if we look at the rules which are given, but we'll get the correct idea and better way when we go through it one by one. Now for example, here what is given: every sentence must end with a full stop. So these are rules in a short, but we'll understand the term very broadly one by one. The first one, capital letter. The capital letter, the initial letter of the first word in every sentence. That means what? Every sentence, it should begin with a capital letter only. Then coming to the second point, capitalize the pronoun I. Whenever there is a pronoun in a sentence, you have to write it in a capital form. Simi and I are going for a walk. Then the third rule says what? Whenever there are proper nouns, proper adjective, and the common nouns, for example given here, a philosopher, a country, a state, an empire, a queen, Plateau, India, Maharashtra, Maratha, Victoria. Then coming to the proper adjectives: platonic love, Indian customs, Maharashtrian festivals, Maratha army, Victorian poetry. All these common noun, proper noun and proper adjectives has to be written in the capital. That means the first letter should be capital. Then coming to the fourth one, capitalize the name of the person. Whenever you are beginning or whenever you are writing the name of a person, you have to write it with a capital letter. Even the title, for example, the doctor, Mr., Mrs., professor, ma'am, principal. At that time, you have to what? Begin it with a capital letter. Then coming to the geographical names. Names of what? The villages, the towns, for example, Purandar, Jaipur, New Delhi. Then country, then China, India, then continents, Asia, Europe, North America. Then mountains, the Himalayas, the Alps. Then the bodies of the water, that is the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea. And even when you are writing the name of the organization, for example, Medical Council of India, then any business from Tata or Birla, you are capitalizing the first letter of that word, of that name, then the institutions, for example, the National Defense Academy, and then the government bodies, the Union Public Service Commission, then the Directorate of Advertising and the Visual Publicity, All India Radio, Maharashtra Telephone Nigam Limited. If you observe it very carefully, what it is, the name, the first initial is always written in the capital letter. Then capitalize the name of the ships, then even the name of the ship or the train, the Palace on Wheels, Deccan Queen, Rajdhani, then the name of the planets, Mars, Jupiter, then monuments, Taj Mahal, then the various awards given, Bharat Ratna, Padma Bhushan. Then even when you're referring to the Almighty, God and His divine ways, you have to capitalize the initial letter, not the whole word. You have to only initialize the first letter. Capitalize only the first letter, not the whole word. Coming to the second one is the full stop. Full stop, also known as period. Now, if you look at this, the examples given here, what is the significance? It marks the end of a declarative or imperative sentence. We had already completed with the declarative sentence. That means that your affirmative or your negative sentence, or imperative sentence. Whenever you are requesting something, you are commanding something, you are ordering something, that is known as imperative sentence. So, the full stop marks the end. That means at the end of the declarative or the imperative sentence, you have to write down full stop. So here, cow eats grass, or even sometimes the abbreviation given at that time also you have to use the full stop. The next one, question mark. Now, why do you use the question mark? The question mark given here is used in the place of full stop after a direct question. The example given here, where is your book? That means what? The question mark is never used in the indirect speech or indirect narration. Given your examples, where is your book? What is your name? What if we should fail? But whenever a declarative sentence contains an indirect question, it has to be followed by the full stop. For example, given is Simi asked, what was the matter? Simi asked, what was the matter? So though she is asking, but it is indirect speech because it is asked, not said. So asked is already the past tense. So the statement was being asked by the Simi. So here we will not end with the question mark, but with the full stop. Coming to the next one, exclamatory mark or the exclamation mark. The significance of the exclamation mark, this is the exclamation mark. Now what is significance? It is that mark which is used after the interjections and after phrases and sentence expressing certain feelings. It expresses your certain feelings and emotions. For example, what a wonder, wow, oh my God, oh God, alas. Here given examples, wow, what a game, ouch, that hurt. So exclamatory mark, it is used. That means these interjections are used after that particular phrase or after that particular sentence. Coming to the next one, comma. Now what is significance of comma in your punctuation? Now, comma is used to indicate a pause between parts of sentence. What does it indicate? It indicates a pause between parts of sentence. Now, when to use there and where to use there? First of all, whenever there are items in the series, example given here, students, teachers, parents and local people attended the function. Okay, then for next time, when can we use, when it is used two or more adjectives, they are preceding noun, that means they are before that noun. For example, that was a rough, narrow, dangerous road. We are speaking about the road, how it was, rough, narrow and dangerous. So the comma is used there. Then again the comma is used before and, but, or, nor, for, yet, when they join independent clauses. Now when the sentence has complete meaning, okay, it is known as what? Sentence. But in sentence also there are certain words, group of words that are dependent. That means without that the sentence is not complete. For example given here, into the garbage pail she flung the burned cake and her mother helped her start another. I have to go now, but Mr. Pandit will arrive shortly. I have to go now. This complete sentence. But Mr. Pandit will arrive shortly. So to join the independent clauses, it can be used. Then coming to the next one, use a comma to separate main clause and subordinate clause. Now, although it was raining heavily, the match continued. Now, main clause and subordinate clause. Although it was running heavily, the match continued. As said earlier, independent clause means what? It has what? Both the things. That means it is complete in itself, but subordinate clause is dependent on the main clause. So here, if you see, although it was raining heavily, but what had happened? The match continued. So it is also used to separate main clause and subordinate clause. Then again the comma is used to separate the participle phrases. Participle phrase now the horse, comma, seeing how high the fence was. Again comma, refused to jump. So these are the two participle phrases and the horse is of course the subject about whom we are talking. Then coming to the next one, it is used to separate the verbs like say, reply from direct speech. That means in the direct speech, I just can't believe it, comma. But the open inverted commas and closed inverted comma is given, the quotation mark. She said, alright, he replied, I am coming now. So here also the comma is used. Now again the comma is used to mark off a noun in the direct address. Is that used in me? So whenever you are directing or you are speaking about a noun is there in a particular sentence, so to address that noun we use comma. The next one, colon. Now what is the use of colon? Colon, when we use, a colon is being used to illustrate and to explain a statement. It marks a still more complete pause than expressed by semicolon. It is also a pause, but it is complete pause. That means comma, pause, colon, a little pause, but a semicolon will be a very longer pause. So it is introduces a series or list. Several friends have provided me with then colon, Renita, Yasmin, Roshan and Asin Then again it is introduces a direct speech or quotation. I told him last week, do not in any circumstances park in front of the gate. Then the third one, where it is used, it introduces an additional piece of information. The moral of the story is, then the colon, prevention is better than cure. A stitch in time saves 9. Then coming to the another type, semicolon. Now semicolon means what? The semicolon is used to represent a pause of greater importance than that shown by the comma. The colon is used when the coordinating conjunction and but and or do not appear between the principal clause and the coordinate clause in the compound sentence. Or also it marks a longer pause than that indicated by comma. Now here, to separate the coordinate clause, here the example is being given, I have poor health, therefore I must be excused from the event. So it is providing the reason. Because I am having the poor health, therefore I should be excused. So it is what the coordinate clause. To separate the lengthy coordinate clauses when there are no connecting conjunctions. They were tired, they were hungry, the way was long and they walked on. Then another one, before certain connecting words like however, therefore, nevertheless, meanwhile, hence. For example, Saturn was thought to be only a ring planet. However, this is now known not to be the case. So to connect certain words also, the semicolon is being used. Coming to the next one, dash. Now what do you mean by dash? Dash, as the word indicates, it is longer than the hyphen. Now what do you mean by longer than the hyphen? Now longer than the hyphen indicates that a dash, a pair of dashes separates a phrase from the rest of sentence. For example, an honest politician, if such a creature exists, would never agree to such a plan. It sounded yes. That was it, like something heavy being dragged along the tile paved footpath. Now in this sentence or in the example given here, if you look at it, it is indicating what? A sudden stop in the speaker's or the writer's thought. Now see, for example, many times in the class when the teacher explains, okay, a certain things, but all of a sudden what happens, that sometimes she takes a sudden stop. Now why this sudden stop? Because she wanted to introduce the another topic, the another thought which comes in her or his mind. So whenever you're speaking or whenever you're writing, now the thoughts coming one after the another about that particular thing. So to indicate that now there's another thought has come, the dash is being used. A single dash introduces a change in thought or afterthought. She had always imagined the situation would go on for years, and perhaps it would. In representing range of numbers, especially in the mathematics or in science, we use such. So the dash is being used for the series of thought coming one after the another. Even you have what? Even you have parentheses, that is the double dashes also. But what happens in the parentheses? A parenthesis clauses, it has no such grammatical relationship with the rest of sentence. So usually we avoid the parenthesis unless and until we are writing a novel or an article. Coming to the next one, the quotation marks. Now quotation marks is being used to enclose a direct quotation. That means your direct sentences or your direct statement which are being passed. For example, let's go for a swim. Then, why do you shout, ouch? I asked. So what it is doing? It is the direct speech or whatever the spoken words are there that we write down in the quotation mark. Coming to next one, the apostrophes. Now apostrophes indicate that something belongs to me. It indicates the possessive class. Now what do you mean by the possessive case or possessiveness? Now to form a possessive case of a singular noun, for example, I borrowed Nadia's umbrella. Nadia's cousin is in town. Even for the plural nouns also, 2 weeks vacation. Now if you observe now here, 2 weeks vacation, whenever it ends with already plural, that is S, then after S we write an apostrophe. But in case of the noun, after noun, for example, Nadia, then apostrophe S. It is the case of the possessiveness, that is the possessive noun. I borrowed Nadia's umbrella, that means it belongs to Nadia. But in case of the plural where it is already ending with S, after S we'll put apostrophe. Then coming to third form, that is the plural noun, for example, women's college, children's book. So children is already plural, but we put apostrophe after completing the children. We have apostrophe followed by the S. So it is not the children, it is not plural, but children is already plural. Then apostrophe to form the possessive case. So here we use apostrophe. Women's college. So women is already plural, but we add apostrophe. Then coming to everyone's hope, neither's hope. That means whenever there are indefinite pronouns also, we add apostrophe to show the possessiveness. Now coming to the next one. Now, even when the compound words are being used, for example, mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, or even the Amit and Geeta's house, where there is a joint position also, at that time also we can use apostrophe. Or when two or more persons possess something individually, for example, Mrs. Joshi's and Mrs. Pradhan's children. So there are two different identities, but we are showing the possessive case. So we are using apostrophe. Then use an apostrophe to show where a letter or the letters have been omitted in contraction. Now, whenever we speak verbally, he is not here. He isn't here. The meaning is same. But here the apostrophe indicates we have shortened the word. Instead of is not, we are writing isn't. You are right. When we read it, we are reading it what? You are right. But you can write also in this manner. Simi is late. Simi is late. Simi is late. The meaning is. She has gone home. So after she, apostrophe is there. I did forgotten. So I did not. I had forgotten. We never read it. I did forgotten. But it is I had forgotten. Usually the words are not, word not is shortened to nt and added to verb without any change in the spelling of the verb. Is not, isn't. Did, did not, didn't, has not, hasn't, are not, aren't, was not, wasn't, have not, haven't, does not, doesn't, were not, weren't, had not, hadn't, would not, wouldn't, should not, shouldn't. But there are certain exceptions. We never use cannot, can't, will not, won't. So except these two exceptions, we can write down in this manner. So today we had learned with the various punctuation marks. That means from the capital letter, full stop, or period, then the question mark, then exclamation mark, comma, colon, semicolon, dash, then quotation mark, then apostrophes. So hope you all have understood the content very well. Thank you, children. God bless you all.